So today, I believe congratulations are in order because it's day 5 and you have survived. That went by really quickly. It always does. So moving forward, you made it through the first 4 days. You got the food stuff down. I incorporated the 4 food-related things that I thought were the most important to stopping those carb cravings over the past 4 days. So I want to know how's that going for you. I would love to hear from you about your food wins. You can just comment below to let me know all about it. And moving forward, we're doing something a little bit different because instead of focusing on the food, we're focusing on the main lifestyle factor that influences carb cravings. And that, my friends, is stress. Stress is so intertwined with carbohydrate cravings and blood sugar, it's kind of crazy. I know you probably already know that stress is bad news. You know that stress can make you gain weight. It makes it hard to lose excess fat and all those unwanted things. But there is a physiological reason that we stress eat. There's a reason that we crave carbohydrates, and it's very similar to the blood sugar roller coaster that I was teaching you about in the last 4 days. Carbs digest quickly into sugar, which goes into the bloodstream, creating the blood sugar spike and then the crash. After that, carb cravings show up. With stress, it's fascinating because we evolved to deal with very different stressors than we have today. The stress response that we evolved to have doesn't fit with the way our lives work today, which is a huge problem. Back in the day, our stresses were physical stressors. Stress was caused by being chased by a bear. So what your body developed was a reaction where it was able to channel all of its resources to pull its stored energy into the bloodstream, resulting in increased blood sugar levels. That way, we would have the energy to either fight off that stressor or flee from it. Fight or flight, right? You've heard of that. Insulin would then take the released sugar to the muscles which need it to keep working and power the fight or flight response. And so you would have that enormous amount of energy you needed to hopefully survive the situation or outrun the bear. Back then, stress was all about survival. And so secondary processes like digestion shut down during stress, so all energy could be conserved for surviving the stressful situation. After the stressful event, after you survived, the stress response ended and everything went back to normal and life was good. If you picture stress now, however, it's a bit different because it's normally emotional stress. Instead of a bear wanting to eat you, it's more like your computer crashed, or your kids are in trouble at school, or you just got a phone call. And so you're probably already putting together the problem with this regarding carb cravings and stress. The same response happens when stress is initiated, whether it's emotional or whether it's physical. That same sugar is liberated and sent into the bloodstream. But you don't need it. Your body isn't physically working the way it would with physical stress. The sugar is restored as fat, mainly in the belly, due to a wonderful hormone called cortisol. This triggers, and you guessed it, the blood sugar roller coaster and the subsequent carb cravings. So not only does stress make us crave carbs and store fat, but it places that stored fat in the worst possible place, which is your belly. The other problem with stress is that emotional stressors don't normally end quickly. And you know this very well. Sometimes emotional stress can go on for days or weeks or even months. and your stress response never really goes down. So there's a constant cycle of high blood sugar, fat storage, and carb cravings. Your adrenals, which are responsible for manufacturing stress hormones, eventually just burn out. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole today, though, and that's a whole different topic. But it's important to know how bad the situation really is, and it affects most of us. One of the key things we need to realize is that stress, it's not a situation. It's not a specific outside external factor. What we need to remember is that stress is our reaction to that outside factor. You are in control of your body's stress response. It may not feel like it, and truth be told, it takes time to be able to take control. But in reality, you have the power to lower the stress response. And this is an important skill for the sake of your health. But for this challenge, it's for the sake of controlling carb cravings. I'm giving you 2 ways to manage stress in your manual. And these are my 2 favorites because they're super easy. They don't require spending money on anything. They don't require time-intensive activities because let's be real, we're all busy. So one of the options is meditation through a free app. The other one is a gratitude practice. Now, if you're not a woo-woo, these might sound a little bit hokey. You might be thinking, okay, I'm not that kind of person who does that. I totally get that. But study after study show that when we do these things, we lower our stress hormones. So for me, if science tells me it's real, then I will give it a try. And I highly suggest that you do too. Now, when it comes to meditation, I get that it sounds really daunting. And I have had a hard time being quiet in my own head for any given period of time. I found that apps really do help. You can also search YouTube for guided meditations, completely free, or simply set up a timer for 5 or 10 minutes and do a silent meditation. And this is my current go-to. Having just 5 minutes of deep breathing and clearing your mind of stressors is amazing for bringing your stress levels down. Some people run through a meditation every night before bed. Some people will choose to do it when they're having a stressful moment. There's no right or wrong way to do it as long as you get it done, okay? The other option I've given you, and I love this one too, is a gratitude practice. I learned about gratitude practice through Oprah. I'm a huge fan, and I decided to incorporate the practice many years ago as she says she owes everything she has to her daily gratitude practice. So I figured if it worked for Oprah, it can work for me too. And it's such a fantastic thing to incorporate into your life because it changes and can change the whole spin of your day from negative to positive, no matter what's going on. Gratitude practice simply involves writing down things that you're grateful for. Just pick 3 to start, things that on a fundamental level you are grateful for. And it can be as easy as the breakfast you had in the morning or as complex as a major family reunion or a big paycheck that you received, okay? Make them specific so you can picture that exact thing. Write it down in the evening or say it out loud in front of a mirror or even just in the shower. Somewhere you're going to be able to soak it in and not just skim through it. And I personally share my gratitude practice with my partner every night. So we share 3 each. And that just holds me accountable because I'm terrible at writing it down. So whatever works for you as long as you do it. And you can do this every day before you go to bed or whatever time that you feel is right for you. The point of a gratitude practice is that no matter what happens, you end your day on a positive note, thinking about things that make you happy and grateful in life. From there, the things that may affect you negatively may not impact you as negatively because you're coming from a positive mind frame. And then again, at the end of the day, if you've had a long, hard day By the end of it, you're overwhelmed and stressed, reminding yourself how blessed you are and how happy you are in your life. You stop that stress and negativity in its tracks. Pick one of the strategies that I shared with you, or both. You can never do too much when it comes to stress, and actually incorporate them into your life long term. Now that's it. That officially wraps up this 5-day detox. I hope that this was valuable for you, and I hope you've been able to see that there's a physiological basis to cravings and make the connection that when you can change the way you eat fundamentally, you can change so many other things in your life that seem completely unrelated, like carbohydrate cravings and energy crashes. I want to say a huge, huge thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know that your time is so valuable, and I know there's so much out there, and it's really hard to know what to pay attention to and what to give your time to. I feel grateful that you enrolled in this challenge and that you gave your time to me over the last 5 days, and I hope that you found it worthwhile and valuable. If you have any big wins and you want to share, I would really love to celebrate them with you. So please just go ahead and share those in the Facebook group and or just email me and let me know, as long as you share them, because it really, really lights up my day. Okay? So until next time, bye.